Now, during this crisis, one of the things you want to do is to preserve your liquidity as best as possible, preserve the cash flows of the business. And so there are a few recommendations that I would present for you to consider. The first one is you may want to delay major capex expansion projects where possible at this time. If these are not akin to your overall survival, you may want to consider postponing some of these expansion projects, such as to maximize the cash flows available to the business at this point. Because one of the things is that this particular virus, there is a certain level of uncertainty as to when it will end, and therefore you want to preserve as best as possible much of your cash at this point. You may also want to consider maximizing on loan moratorium offers from your current bankers. I know there are several institutions that are offering moratoriums. Jane Bank, for example, would offer a moratorium up to 12 months, and you can take advantage of this for payment holidays on your loan obligations and so on. You may also want to rationalize the business operations to eliminate certain cost structures and certain expenses. Now is a good time for you to really look at this cost structure to see where you could minimize certain expenses. It's very important that as the dollar continues to devalue, as we have seen, that you consider certain FX hedging solutions to mitigate against FX losses. And a little later we'll tell you of a solution that Jane Bank is offering to the market to better able to manage your FX risk. Also, managing your receivables is very important at this point in time. You may want to consider not extending credit for an excessively long period, such as to improve the cash intake of the business. You may also want to look at restructuring existing loan facilities where necessary, and this could involve extending the tenure, the maturity date, and where possible benefit from interest rate reductions. It is also important that as you navigate through this difficult period, that you negotiate supplier credit terms, naturally with your suppliers, both overseas and locally. Shifting your business model where necessary to take advantage of opportunities is something that I would strongly recommend. In fact, we interviewed a local manufacturer of tissues and paper towel products recently. And this is a business that offers several products to the market. But with the COVID-19 pandemic, you find that more persons are staying home. And because of that, there is an increase in demand for tissues and paper towels and so on. So there has been a significant increase in the demand for these products, for this business. So what they did was to kind of realign the business model to focus more on producing that particular product that has been high demand. So where possible, there are certain opportunities that this pandemic has brought about, and you may want to take advantage of those opportunities as best as possible. Now, they have always said that in every adversity, there's an opportunity. And so it is particularly beneficial to businesses to take advantage of those. Now, access to working capital financing where needed is also important. So in the case of that local manufacturer of tissue, the fact that they would have benefited from an uptick in sales of tissue, they could access working capital financing from their bankers to be able to drive the production of that particular product. We also provide business advisory services to be able to nurture a number of smaller type businesses and in some instances large businesses on proper financial management, marketing, and so on. So these are some of the services you could perhaps tap into at this time to be able to rationalize your business. Now, Jane Bank naturally is one of your partners, and so at this time it is very important for us to be very close to our customers, both existing and potential. And so one of the things you can immediately benefit from are moratoriums on your existing loan obligations. And we are able to offer moratorium up to 12 months. And we are also able to restructure your credit facilities where we're able to extend the tenure of these facilities. We have been processing a number of these requests, and I urge as many businesses as possible to take advantage of these offers. Foreign exchange hedging is very important at this particular time, and JN Bank offers a particular product that helps to lock in an FX rate such that if you have a future payable, FX payable, you can lock in a rate up front and benefit from that rate that is locked in. So we are particularly able to provide you with information on that, and we'll be delighted to show you how you can minimize your FX losses as a result of that FX hedging product. We also offer working capital lines of credit, which includes receivables financing to help you to reboost the business at this particular time and to get you on a firm footing even after COVID-19. And of course, our business advisory services, which I mentioned earlier, and perhaps more importantly, is our relationship banking tenet, where we endeavor to ensure that there's a dedicated business banker that's assigned to each and every business. And these are persons that are responsive to your needs and are akin to the needs of the business. And so it's particularly beneficial for you to take advantage of these services from JN Bank. So we look forward to seeing you and to discussing with you more. And we just want to say thanks again for coming, and we sincerely hope that you will find this session to be very informative and enlightening. Thank you.